Hi, I'm Paul Wilson from Nimbin Valley Dairy. Welcome to the Cheese Kitchen. Today we're going to make a traditional feta, which we will mature in brine. In the previous episodes we talked about cutting and stirring and how important that was into making cheese. We're going to take this a step further. The make is actually very similar, but we will mature the cheese in brine. But let's get cracking. Put our heat on. Just pass me the milk, please, Kat. We've got 2 litres of full cream milk here. Today we need to get this to 40 degrees. It's already pasteurised, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay. So I'll just put my thermometer in there. Basically what's happening is we're putting in this culture. The culture is going to eat the milk sugar, the lactose. Yep. It produces acid. Acid causes all the proteins to shrink and expel water. Okay, Kat, that's just coming up to 40 degrees, so I'll turn that off. Yep. Now, I need to put a small amount of culture in here. Just want a tip on the end of your spoon. So we've got them in there. We're actually just going to let that sit now for an hour. We call that ripening. So it's just going to sit there and mature. Okay, it's been an hour, Kat, and those bacteria have been multiplying away there. Now it's time to add some rennet. Now, again, really small quantities. 0.5 of a mil for 2 litres. I'll put that in, I'll stir, and the rule is for more than 1 but less than 3 minutes. So you remember, Kat, when we were making halloumi that we were watching for the point where the milk coagulated into a curd? So we have to watch for that point again. So we note the time that we put the rennet in, and we're going to time how long it takes to reach that coagulation point. See how it's pulling down? And if I lift that up, we get a nice firm cut. Now I know that in this case it took 9 minutes to get to that stage. Okay. And I know for this cheese I've got to cut it at 3 times 9 minutes, so 27 minutes I cut. Okay, that's half an hour. Yep. So if you just pass me that knife, we're going to cut the curds. We'll do a crosshatch pattern, about 1 centimetre across. So we've cut lengthways, we've cut crossways. Okay. Now I've got to do the difficult one and cut it under. So the whey is starting to get expelled from the curd. We're just going to give that a stir. Be very gentle in the first stir. If there's any super big curds, you could cut them. Just get your knife in there. So this recipe has 3 stirs and 3 rests, and they're all important. Yep. The stir helps get rid of moisture. The rest lets the bacteria produce acid and cause those proteins to shrink. And you can see the curds are shrinking in size now. That's perfect now. Yep. It's ready to hoop. So if you just pass me my hoops, I'm going to put that straight into here.
Do I just fill it up to the top?
Yeah, for this cheese it doesn't really matter, so just fill it to the top. What we want to do is drain that whey off every now and then. Okay. Okay, we don't want it to build up and up and up because we actually want to remove the whey from the cheese. And we'll sit it and let it drain there for half an hour.
And how many times do I have to turn it?
You need to turn it 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
The rule of thumb is you keep turning it until no more whey comes out. The first one's always a bit of a gamble because it's still quite soft. So with your clean hands, just drop it out, turn the cheese over and put it back in. Now it's very soft at this stage. Okay, Kat, these are the cheeses. They've been draining all night. They've shrunk down, expelled all that whey, and now all we're left with, we dump it out, are these little firm babies. Oh, so now the next job is to brine them, which is just salt and water. I've got 1 litre of water here. Yep. We take 100 grams of salt. That's going to make me a 10% solution. A little bit of a stir, and it's as easy as Just putting those cheeses in like that. Make sure the cheese is under the brine. See, this cheese is a little bit too big. It's sticking up out of the top of the brine. Anything sticking out will start to grow a little fungus or mold on it. And it can sit there in the brine in the fridge for months and months, or years even. You're going to get your best flavour after about 3 months. If you're going to eat it early, I'd eat it within the first week or after a few months.
Okay.
Because in the first week it's fresh and milky. For longer than that, you need to wait that 3 months so you get the nice complex matured flavours coming through. Thanks for tuning in. If you've got any questions or comments, leave them below.
Okay, and stay tuned for next episode where I make a Greek feta salad.